Yeah, dear student, welcome back to the revision class of the accountancy. First chapter is completed. Clear? Today we are going to start our second chapter, that is basic accounting terms. So every subject is having its own terminology, whether it is science, medical. So as is the case with the commerce, and accountancy is also having its own terminology, which is very necessary to understand it. Clear? In order to have a clear understanding of this chapter. So first our term is business transaction. Clear? So the term business transaction means a financial transaction or economic event entered into by two or more parties. Why? Because as we are following double entry system, so every transaction is having two aspects, that is buyer and seller. So it is a financial event expressed in terms of money, which is very necessary, because I taught you money measurement principle, which says only those transactions are recordable in the books of account which possess some monetary value. So it is necessary that there should be a financial transaction and money is involved in it, or it is the transaction is measurable in terms of money, which brings a change in the financial position of an enterprise. How a transaction will bring a change in the financial position of an enterprise? For example, if you purchase any fixed asset, you have gained an asset and at the same time money has gone. Similarly, if you have done any transaction, whether it is cash or credit, you have bought the goods and now you will process it and resell it. So every business transaction, there shall be two parties, money is involved, and at the same time it is going to change your financial position. So it is an agreement between two parties involving transfer or exchange of goods or service. Examples are sale of goods, purchase of goods, receipt from debtors, payment to creditor, purchase or sale of fixed assets, payment of interest, payment of dividend, etc. So characteristic of business transaction, it is concerned with the money or money's worth of goods or service. It arises out of the transfer or exchange of goods or service, and it brings about change in the financial position of enterprise. So every transaction is not a business transaction. Always remember, if you are donating something, then it comes in charity, and charity is not a business transaction. Clear? So whenever you are buying anything for the purpose of the business, rendering any services, processing any goods for further resale, it will come under business transaction. So there are three basic characteristics of business transaction: that it is concerned with the monies or money's worth, it arises out of the exchange of goods and service, and it is going to bring change in your financial position. Okay? Second term is accounts. So it is a record of the transaction, cash and credit, under a particular head of account, say salaries, telephone, expense, or a particular head. It shows the amount of the transaction but shows their effect and direction. For example, there is one person with you from whom you are buying several things in a month. So that person is supplier also and your buyer also. That person is buying your finished goods also. In a month, you are giving him 10 to 10, 15 times some goods to sell also. So how you are going to know that how much that person owes to you and how much you owes to that person? Clear? उससे कितना लेना है और कितना देना है? How you will come to know? So that is only possible by preparing separate individual accounts of debtors and creditor. Only in this way you are going to find out. So preparation of the accounts is very necessary in the books of accounts. Next term is capital. It is a very important term. So it is the amount invested by the proprietor in the business. Clear? Capital is all earned by owners of the business, because they are having vision or charm to do the business, and they are having a heart to invest money in that. Now capital is of three types. First, fixed capital. Okay. What is fixed capital? Amount required to buy fixed assets. Clear? Amount required to buy fixed asset. For example, you are opening your hotel. Whatever your fixed asset, land and building, furniture, etc. Okay. Next is working capital. Now what is working capital? Amount required to run day-to-day business. Clear? So first thing is fixed capital. Amount required to buy fixed asset is called fixed capital, land and building, furniture, etc. Second is working capital. Amount required to run day-to-day business. Clear? For example, in the first case I give you the example of hotel. Now in second case working capital. What working capital is required? Maybe you are requiring cleaners, toilet cleaners. Clear? For the mopping of the floor and something, cleaning of the room, etc. on daily basis. Clear? If you are having your own car, diesel, petrol, repairing, so whatever things are required for day-to-day course will come under working capital. Now third type of capital is floating capital. What is floating capital? Some business enterprises possess extra money, so they buy their raw material in bulk quantity. So if they are having extra capital to buy their raw material, that amount is called floating capital. So generally capital is of three types: fixed, amount required to buy fixed asset, amount required to run day-to-day business, and floating capital. If you are having extra money, you buy. For example, you are in a business or bakery business or something, you are having extra money. Nowadays in the current scenario, you will see there, you don't know when market will open and when market will close. So if you are having extra money, if you buy your raw material, that will comes under floating capital. Okay. Now the term capital is used for the sole proprietor and partnership. In case of company, it will called, in case of company, if the amount is subscribed to the public, then it is called shareholders. Okay. In case of company, capital is arranged by the public, so they are called shareholder. I hope this thing is clear too. Now we are going to study drawings. Yes. Now what is drawing? It is the amount required by the sole proprietor, or it is the amount required by the, or goods taken by the proprietor for his own or personal use. That thing is called drawings. So drawings may be of two types. First is cash drawings and material. Okay. Now what is cash drawing? Amount withdrawn in cash from the business. For example, if you are your father is having a business, and in order to deposit your school fees, they have taken some money from the business cash, because no other type of cash is available. So it is considered as cash drawing. Similarly, if anybody is having grocery shop and they took grocery item for their own consumption, it is called drawings of material. So drawings is of two types. Next is liability. Now liability is of two types. Liability is of two types: towards owner and towards outsiders. Okay. What is the liability of the business towards owner? Is to give profit. Because I taught you separate identity principle, which says that owner is separate and business is separate. And what business believes in, that it has borrowed money from owner. That is why capital is always shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. Okay. So if the capital is liability, then availability of the profit is to be given to the owner. So it is the duty of the business to give profit towards the owner. Towards the outsider, what is the liability? To make timely payment. first liability is towards the owner and second liability is towards the outsider. Outsider means to make timely payment to your creditors. Now, according to the Companies Amendment Act, Companies Amendment Act 2013, liabilities is of two types. Current liability means payable within 12 months. Payable within 12 months. And another is non-current liability. Payable after 12 months. So first liability is towards the owner is to provide profit to the owner, and second is towards the outsider to make timely payment to a creditor. Now, according to the Companies Amendment Act 2013, liabilities of two types, current and non-current. Current means payable within the 12 months and non-current means payable after 12 months. But you are not supposed to remember, this thing will come in use in next year when we will study company accounts. Okay, I hope liabilities will be clear to you. Our next term is assets. Again, it is a very broader term. Okay, and again, let's see. It's better that I will explain to you here. So our fixed asset, what comes under? Land and building, plant and machinery, okay, furniture, etc. Then comes our current asset. What comes under? Cash, bank, debtors, bills receivable, etc. Okay, fixed asset, current asset, then wasting asset. Okay, what goes on wasting asset means if you have taken any license to draw sand from the river bed. In this case, if you have taken any license, so and you are not able to withdraw license for withdraw sand for 2 months, then it's your problem. Now the time left is 10 months. So wasting asset means that will keep on wasting whether you are able to use it or not. Next is depleting asset. What are depleting asset? Which goes on deplete with the passage of times. Okay. What comes under it? Oil wells, mines, quarries. What are quarries? From where stones are extracted. So depleting means either the resource is exhausted or resource is there but we are not able to dig it out. Okay. Liquid asset. What is liquid asset? Liquid asset shows liquidity in the business. How much your business receive cash. That is why you will see you will die for a person will die for a branded things or brand franchisee. Why they look for the franchisee? Because from the very first day you are having liquidity in the business. Galle mein cash aa raha hai. Money is coming to your galla. So that thing is very necessary, liquidity. You will see certain enterprise in case of infrastructure companies, you have to continuously invest. If you have taken a project to complete a flyover, then for the next 36 months or 48 months you have to just invest. Afterwards the money will come back to you. And afterward it comes a fictitious asset. Now what are fictitious assets? Fictitious assets are not asset, but because of the legal and technical ground it turns into an asset. Okay? Now what comes under it? Heavy advertisement. Okay? In heavy advertisement you have done advertisement in very huge quantity, and benefit of this we are going to reap in several years. Okay, generally advertisement is done for a month or a year, but when you do the thing in bulk quantity, so what will happen? And the benefit will arise in number of years. So for that purpose, if it comes in number of years, we are not going to write it off in 1 year. We are going to write off it in several years. I will explain you. What are incorporation expenses? What are incorporation expenses? Amount spent for the registration of the company. Okay? Loss on issue of share, etc. If company has gone for the IPO and they didn't get the subscription, so there is a loss. Okay? Now I will tell you what are heavy advertisement expenditure. For example, you have done an expenditure of 2 crore. Any new company has come, for example Kia Seltos or Morris Garage, any new company has come and they have done the huge advertisement expenditure of 2 crore. In the same year their net profit is also 2 crore. Okay? Expenditure is 2 crore, net profit is 2 crore. So what is the result? Result is 0. If you show the whole amount of advertisement expenditure in 1 year. Okay? So as I told you, this is the heavy advertisement expenditure and we are going to get benefit for number of years. So when you get benefit numbers of years, it's not good to write it off in the 1 year. So we will divide it by 5 or 10. So every year you will write off 40 lakh. Okay? We will write it. So what will happen? Every year you are going to consider 40 lakh. Then your net profit is 1.6 crore. Because nobody will give you loan if your balance sheet is showing 0 profit or loss. Everybody salutes the rising sun. So for that purpose, it is very necessary to show profit in your balance sheet. Now the unwritten part, 1.6 crore, you are going to write it off every year 40 lakhs. So in 5 years it will finish. So the unwritten part of this expenditure is called fictitious asset. Clear? It's not an asset, but because of the legal and technical ground, it turns into an asset. Yes, 2 more assets are there. That is tangible. Tangible means which you can see and touch. Furniture is tangible. What is intangible? Intangible means your goodwill. Goodwill means your reputation in the market. That comes with intangible means which you can't see and touch. Goodwill. Next is patents. What are patents? Medical formulas. Copyright. In case of a book, you will have a copyright. So goodwill, patents, copyright, computer softwares, okay. Music, tones or tunes of music. So these all things will come under intangible, which you can only feel it. You can't see and touch. Okay. Goodwill, I am again, it's a reputation in the market. It's intangible. Patents, medical formulas like insulin. Insulin is discovered by Torrent Pharmaceutical. If anybody is producing by taking a license from them, that comes under patent. Copyright in case of the books, music, softwares of computers and music. So this is a broader classification of the term assets. While again, according to the Companies Amendment Act, clear? You have to remember all these 7 type of asset, or it is 8 type. But in case of, as I told you, Companies Amendment Act 2013, there are 2 type of asset: current assets and non-current assets. But I am telling you, This classification is only helpful when we will study company account next year. Right now you are supposed to be you are in the first stage of the accountancy. You should know all 8 type of asset: fixed, current, wasting, depleting, liquid, fictitious, tangible and intangible. I hope this classification will be helpful for you. If you have any doubt, then you let me know. Okay. Now we will study next term. Our next term is receipt. Clear? Now receipt means amount receivable from any type. So receipt is of 2 types: revenue and capital. Clear? Now what is revenue receipt? Revenue receipt means of recurring nature. If you are having a shop, your daily will have a sales. So amount received from the sale of goods is called revenue or receipt. So it is of recurring nature. It comes every day. But what is capital receipt? It's a rare phenomenon. What comes under it? Sale of assets. Clear? You are every day, you are, or in a month you are not going to sell your assets. In the school you have seen buses. Buses are purchased here for the smooth functioning of the school. They are not purchased for the purpose of or intended for resale. So receipt is of 2 types. Amount received from sale of goods is called revenue receipt. Amount received from sale of assets or loan taken, so they are called capital receipt. They are rare phenomena. Why? This is of recurring nature. Clear? Now again, next is expenditure. Expenditure again is of 3 types. Capital expenditure. Now what are capital expenditure? Amount required to buy fixed asset. Clear? Is called fixed capital. Similarly, whatever amount you are spending to buy the fixed asset is called capital expenditure. Clear? Next is revenue. Now what is revenue expenditure? Amount incurred to generate the revenue is called revenue expenditure. Clear? Or items which comes on the debit side of trading and profit and loss account. So capital expenditure, amount required to buy the fixed asset is called fixed capital, and the amount expended is called capital expenditure. Similarly, revenue expenditure like advertisement and some other things. And third is deferred. Deferred revenue expenditure. Clear? What this thing is called? Just now I told you about the fictitious asset. Clear? See, advertisement is a revenue expenditure, but when you did it in very heavy quantity, then it is called deferred revenue expenditure. Why we use the word deferred over here? The meaning of deferred is delayed. So what does that mean? Delayed. Delayed means we are not going to write it off in 1 year. Just now I gave you the example. If you have done the advertisement expenditure of 2 crore, it's not good to write off the whole amount in 1 year. Instead of it, we are going to write it off in 5 years or 10 years according to our revenue of level of operation. If we are having good amount of operation, write it off as early as possible. If you are having lower amount of the sale, write it off in more amount. That is why the word deferred is used. Delayed means you are not going to write off in 1 single year. Why? Because benefit of it will come up to several years. So we are going to write it off in several years. So expenditure is of 2 types. capital, revenue and deferred revenue. Our next term is expenses. Clear? Now, what are expenses? Amount generate or amount incurred to generate revenue is called expenses. Clear? Right? What are those? For example, you are having agency of cold drinks daily, then you have to buy one delivery van. So delivery van is a fixed asset and it's a capital expenditure. But the refilling of the petrol tank, giving salaries to the salesman or commission on the sales will come under expense. Okay? So amount generated, the amount incurred to generate the revenue is called expense. Clear? Now it is of two types. What are expenses? Amount incurred to generate revenue is called expense. Now it is of two types. So prepaid expense and outstanding. What are prepaid expenses? Like your mobile, you have to recharge it in the earlier. Your DTH, you have to recharge it in earlier. Okay? When you recharge it, only then they are going to us. So what they are called? Prepaid, not postpaid. Similarly, in case of business, there are some expenses which you have to incur in advance. So what are those? Rent. Okay? It's a prepaid. What? Taxes, insurance. These all things will come under prepaid. Now what are outstanding expenses? These are those expenses for which services are taken. Services are taken but amount is not paid. So what comes generally is, it may be rent, electricity, anything it may come. Outstanding expenses are those expenses for which services are taken but amount is not paid. But there are some expenses which you have to pay in advance, like rent, taxes and insurance. So see the expenses in what category your transaction is coming. Okay. Our next is income. Next is income. Again it is of two types. Accrued. Accrued income means income earned but not received. You have earned it but it has not come to your hand. And next is unearned. Unearned income or income received in advance. Clear? Accrued means earned but not received, it has not come to your hand. And what is unearned on income received in advance? Means if you have paid tax for the whole year, for 12 months you have paid tax. Now the month in which you have paid, for example April. So for the government, for the month of April, it's an income. But for the rest 11 months, it is income received in advance. Clear? Accrued, earned but not received, and next is income earned, unearned on income received in advance. Whatever you paid in prepaid expenses or other paid like tax, insurance. So for the current month it's an income, for the rest of the month it is called income received in advance. I hope this much is sufficient for today. Thank you. Happy learning. Let me know your doubts if you have any.